P2P cycle in SAP. Welcome to the session. In this session, we will have a brief overview of procure to pay cycle in SAP platform. We will see how the cycle is executed step by step in SAP. So in comparison with the procure to pay cycle, which we saw in the previous slides, so we will try to match those important elements in SAP platform in the same cycle structure. If we remember the previous slides, in the procure to pay cycle, the first element is the determination of requirements. So the determination of requirements or identification of the raw material is done with help of a document called purchase requisition in SAP. So the user generates a purchase requisition document in SAP, which is nothing but determination of requirements, followed by RFQ, request for quotation. So the procurement, after determining the requirement, the procurement team searches for new vendors in the market and approaches them asking for quotations from their side regarding the contact establishment. So in this stage, the company requests for quotations from the vendors, so which is called as RFQ, and it is called the same even in SAP, RFQ, followed by quotation. The vendors will respond for our requests and share their respective quotations for the required supply. So in SAP we maintain those data provided by the vendor in the name of quotation, as in procure to pay cycle, followed by price comparison list. Price comparison list is nothing but vendor evaluation element. So after receiving the quotations, the company makes an analysis and studies and comes to an outcome in the selection of vendors through the vendor evaluation process. So in SAP, the vendor evaluation process is also known by the element price comparison list, followed by purchase order. So now after the vendor evaluation, the vendor is selected and the company provides a purchase order to the vendor asking for the supply, followed by goods receipt. So before goods receipt, the company also does PO follow-up, purchase order follow-up or monitoring. Yes, of course. After that, the vendor supplies the material. It is not necessary that follow-up is a mandatory task. Some vendors, without any follow-up, they by default genuinely supply the materials on agreed time and date. So after PO follow-up, the next element is goods receipt. So it is called, even in SAP, the element is called by the same name. The goods will be received from the vendor. Incoming invoice. Here the vendor sends the invoice asking for payment for his supply to the company. So the team may cross checks or verifies the vendor invoice with in comparison with the purchase order. So this element is called as incoming invoice, followed by payment. So the vendor invoice will be recommended genuine and will to the accounts department, and the payment will be done to the vendor accordingly for his supply of the material. So this completes the cycle, P2P cycle. So this is a cycle which appears like in SAP screen. So we will see the complete cycle in a practical way in the next session in SAP. Thank you.